Straight ahead on the drift, how did Jaws inspire a career chasing real sharks? The shark doc Dr. Greg Skomal is back. Also, we're at the helm with BoatUS with expert trim tab tips for the perfect ride and peak performance. Then we visit our friends for a look at the timeless tradition of handcrafted flagpoles. Plus, Mr. Yachts checks in from Florida with a tour of a brand new mega yacht. And we drift above America's first lighthouse. It's all straight ahead this time on The Drift. Hello and welcome to The Drift. I'm your host, Sierra Goodwill. Shark season is here, and John sits down with Dr. Greg Skomal to talk all things sharks, how to find them, and what to do if one finds you.
Here at The Drift, we call him the Shark Doc. Here he is again, Greg Skomal. Greg, how are you?
Hey, John, it's good to be back. I'm doing great.
All right, so Discovery and HBO and all the big networks, and of course, The Drift. We like to think that, you're a friend.
Yeah, well, you're right up there with those others, that's for sure.
What brought you to your love of sharks? Was it a Jaws thing? Because you were just that right age, right?
Yeah, I am at the right age. I saw it in a movie theater, in Fairfield, Connecticut, where I grew up. And that was back in 1975. I already liked sharks. I liked fish. I thought sharks were really cool animals. Jaws definitely impacted me, but not like it did other people. Most people were frightened by the big plastic shark. I thought it was really fascinating. And I was fascinated by the guy who was the marine biologist in the film, played by Richard Dreyfuss. So, at an early age, I decided maybe that would be a really cool job to get.
You're very much involved with the White Shark Conservancy, right? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Oh, absolutely. The Atlantic White Shark Conservancy is a nonprofit started in 2012 to not only assist with funding our research, but it also has the mission of educating the public about white sharks and trying to enhance public safety regarding white sharks. So my agency, the Division of Marine Fisheries, has a really close working relationship with the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy. It's a really excellent public-private partnership where their scientists work very closely with us. The education department works along with us. And we try to, get not only the information, the research done, but the information out to the general public as quickly as we can. And to do that, of course, they've established the Sharktivity app, which we post data to in almost real time.
So there's an app that we can get on our phone, obviously, it'll pinpoint where sharks are. I mean, to any tagged shark, I would assume, right?
Right. So what it is it's a sightings app. And I want people to use the app more for educational purposes than to really bank on it for public safety. Just because there hasn't been a report, a sighting, a detection of a tagged white shark at any particular beach along the Outer Cape doesn't mean there isn't one there at that moment. But if people look at the Sharktivity app, they can get a sense of where the sharks are most prevalent, and what they're going to find out is most beaches in Massachusetts, are basically free of white sharks. And so, this idea that white sharks are everywhere is dispelled by the data that we've collected. Really, they spend the bulk of their time along the Outer Cape. Any given day, any given hour, there could be a white shark hunting in shallow water. One of our studies we completed a couple of years ago clearly demonstrated that white sharks spend almost 50% of their time in water less than 15 feet deep. All right. So that's a lot of overlap with human activities along the Outer Cape. And we think the public really needs to be aware of that.
Right. So the app will show you with a tag, and it'll give you a sense for shark activity in general. It's Sharktivity is the app, correct?
Exactly. Yeah. It'll give you the most recent reports. And if somebody sees a white shark, they can report it through the app as well.
So what should folks do if they're swimming and they see a shark. The obvious thing, try to get out of the water, but is a fast movement warranted? Or if they see one in a distance, what should the process be? What should we humans, it's their space. I'm not a big diver. I've never been a diver, right? And I've always said, down there is reserved for them, for the fish. I'll stay up here, thank you. So, but what should you do if you're in the water and you see a white shark?
Well, if you're in the water and you see any shark and you're uncertain of its species, you definitely want to get out of the water. Mm-hmm. Even if the animal is not particularly close to you, and the key here is not to panic. Don't splash. Don't behave like an injured fish or a seal, Mm-hmm. And so back out of the water very, very, calmly. Keep your eyes on the shark as best you can. All right. Now, if you're swimming near a boat, it's kind of hard to keep your eyes on the shark while you're getting back to the boat. But again, don't panic and try to, back up very, very slowly and get out of the water. If the shark does approach you and appears to be threatening and enters your personal space, and that I mean within a few feet of you, and it appears to be continuing in your direction, and you can't get out of its way, I would tell you to punch or kick the animal. Don't go out of your way. Don't reach out to get it because it's swimming past you. But if it's entering your personal space dead on, right towards you, you want to strike that animal. Now, the probability of that happening is very, very low. And again, yes, go ahead, kick it, strike it in any way. That generally will deter the animal. But these are rare events. But be mindful that if you're swimming in an area where white sharks are hunting seals, the possibility exists, although the probability remains low.
Thanks for being our friend. Thanks for joining us, Greg.
My pleasure, John. Always great to hang out with you.
Remember to follow the Drift Podcast at driftsociably.com, on social media at Drift Sociably, or wherever you catch your favorite podcasts. Coming up, our friends at BoatUS are at the helm with smart tips in trimming. It's all ahead on The Drift, the social place for boaters.
The Drift is brought to you by BoatUS, Sociably, and Subaru of New England. At the Helm is brought to you by BoatUS. Better boating starts here.
Welcome back to the social place for boating, The Drift. And now we're at the helm with BoatUS.
Today we're going to talk about trim tabs. I'm going to teach you the best way to use your tabs so that you can improve your boat's performance. Trim tabs are hydraulic plates on the transom or underneath the boat that are used to adjust the balance and level of the boat when it's on a plane. If your boat has trim tabs, you're generally going to find the trim tab switch on your helm station. Mine's located right here below my throttle. You only want to adjust your trim tabs once you're up on a plane. If you're going slow and in displacement mode, you want to keep your trim tabs all of the way up. Now let's talk about how to use these tabs in practice. If you put both of your tabs down, it's going to bring the bow down. What that does is it changes the running angle of the boat when it's on a plane. You can bring your bow down or up. You can also individually adjust your tabs. Doing that will adjust the port and starboard list of the boat. The safest way to run your boat on a plane is where it's balanced and running level. Now that we're ready to get up onto a plane, we want to make sure first that our passengers and the weight is evenly distributed so that the boat is riding level. Then we want to do a full 360 scan around the boat. And we want to check our charts in front of us to make sure that we have deep, safe water to go into. Before I get up onto a plane, I'm going to make sure that I have my engine trimmed all of the way down and that my tabs are trimmed all of the way up. If you're on a boat with a lot of bow rise or really heavy in the stern, you may want to have those tabs trimmed slightly down to help bring the bow down to get you onto a plane more efficiently. Now that we're up on a plane, we're going to use our tabs to bring our bow down just a little bit so we can be on a plane a little bit more efficiently. I'm going to tap both of them down at the same time. Now you can notice that we have a passenger in the back of the boat who's been moving around. So we have a bit of a port list. The boat is leaning to the left. Because it's got a port list, we're gonna do starboard bow down. We can also do port bow up to help balance the boat out. One big mistake that a lot of boaters make is that they will put both of their tabs down. When you put your tabs all of the way down, what can happen is that it will stuff the bow of the boat and move it too far forward. That moves your bow wake farther forward, it makes steering a bit harder, and it can also make the engine work a lot harder. The entire point of having tabs is to make your boat more efficient and improve your performance. So you really want to make sure that they're adjusted just so that you're riding the boat evenly and level. Now you've learned how trim tabs work and how they can make your boat perform better on a plane. If you'd like to learn more skills like this, check out the BoatUS Foundation on-water training programs near you.
Better boating starts at BoatUS.com. Visit them for more helpful tips. Coming up, handcrafted flagpoles designed to salute in style and keep maritime tradition flying high. Then we drift above a beacon of American history, still burning bright. It's all ahead on The Drift, the social place for boaters. Now there's a place where The Drift is always on. Check out our YouTube page at Drift Sociably. Find full episodes and your favorite Drift features. That's Drift Sociably on YouTube, the social place for boaters. Get the drift? Now it's time for Drift Into, one of my favorite segments, by the way. We'll go port to port, destination to destination, meeting cool people and exploring amazing places. And now we drift into the Discover Boating New England Boat Show.
All right, we caught up with Mike at Betts-Fleming.
How you doing, John?
Mike, your work is incredible. We love your flags.
Thank you.
We have one of your flagpoles,
Yes,
by the way,
yep.
which stands the test of time and every coastal storm that hits us.
Good to hear.
Tell us what's exciting about your product line this year.
Well, we've got a lot of great things this year. The first thing is we're introducing a brand new Resolute carbon fiber flagstaff.
Wow.
So I think you probably know that a lot of the boat manufacturers these days are doing more and more carbon fiber trim details. And
You're not turning this on the lathe.
no, we're not turning this on the lathe. So, but we are bringing it in for spring of 24. So we're officially launching it here at the boat show.
How are you manufacturing this?
They get cold molded. We've got a factory overseas that we've been actually developing for quite some time to get it just right.
And this is true carbon fiber.
It is
this
true
isn't
carbon
just a graphic
fiber.
or a
No, it's true carbon fiber.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah, and we've got a few models. There'll be 24 in the traditional model, a 24-inch, a 36-inch, and a 48-inch. And then we have some rod holder versions that we'll be offering as well.
Now, I love the old school stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know me.
This is what we really
love this stuff. This is what you do, right?
Yeah, so this is kind of the heritage of Betts-Fleming is the craftsmanship and the woodworking. So, we primarily, select the best teak and mahogany from the wood shops. We bring it in, get it turned. We've got programs for all different sizes, all the way from 18 inches, generally for your bow, up to 96 inches.
Love the signature as always.
Yeah, a little heat stamp on there,
right?
Very subtle. But we turn all these, we finish them. They have 5 coats, every one of them, of Epiphanes varnish. And then we rig it with a little marine cleat and a halyard. And we have flags available.
Now, I see these flying not only on boat sterns, but at homes as well.
Yeah,
you have quite a lot of
absolutely.
these out at the front door or in the garage.
Yep.
It's a great look.
Yeah, that's relatively new the last few years. And like I said, the heritage of the company is providing, parts and components for the marine industry. But we've had so many customers, again, in the last couple of years that have said, I love your flagstaff that is on the transom of my boat. I'd like to put one on my house.
Yeah.
So we started working and getting putting together basically a kit for homeowners.
You're not churning these out, man. This is handcrafted.
They are.
Right?
Everyone.
This is stain brushed to wood, hand turned.
Hand turned. Takes a little while. Probably takes a week to 10 days to get from the wood to the finished product, and it's all done by hand. And
Now,
we're proud of that.
You not only do this, but you do full flag. You have a full array of flag poles.
We do, and that's obviously a little more of a seasonal business for us. But yeah, from the spring through the fall, we're doing full in-ground flag poles.
It's just something about flying Old Glory, man.
It's, you know, I agree with you 100%. You're having a beautiful big American flag flying either from your boat or your home. There's nothing more patriotic.
There's more Drift Into adventures and destinations at driftsociably.com and at Drift Sociably on social media. Mega yachts, super yachts, sailing yachts, and motor yachts. I love them all, and so does our guy, Mr. Yachts, Nick Cardoza. This time, Mr. Yachts tours a beauty that's yet to splash.
What's up, guys? It's Nick Cardoza with Mr. Yachts. We're walking through the Ferretti Group yard here at LMC, Lauderdale Marine Center. We're going to go check out the Custom Line 106. Let's go have a look. So let's start up top on the flybridge, and I'll give you a quick walk through the whole boat. It's very impressive. You're going to love it. It's a beautiful boat. So here we are up on the flybridge. For Miami, South Florida, Bahamas, south of France, you can't go wrong with the 106. I mean, it's just incredible. You've got an expansive, huge flybridge on this boat. Now, one of the things to keep in mind, moving forward, we've got a wet bar area with a great grill here. For those of you who like to have the grilled lobster tails, I know, I do too. And then we've got a very practical and simple helm station up here on the flybridge. Great visibility all around. When you've got the canopy up, the cushions out, you've got your drinks, hors d'oeuvres, watching the sunset. You don't hear any of the generating, hear anything. It's just pure bliss. Wow, all right. May I invite you down to the helm. This is quite the helm station. All glass bridge here, everything integrated into the flat panel displays. You know, you've got your standard equipment here. This is great, nice visibility on the boat. Well, let's check out this massive aft deck here. We love this. It's an integral part of the experience of this boat. You've got a big couch on the back here, and look at this, right? You've got this really beautiful teak table that opens up. And let me tell you a little bit about how the aft platform works. You've got two positions. In the up position, it flips up to let the tender out, and then in the down position to give you a beach club. So this is the main salon. We've got a wine cooler here on port side. We've got closet space on starboard side, and we've basically got a big open floor plan in the main salon, which is great. This is all floating furniture. If you want to change it out, if you want to rearrange it. So you walk down here, and we've got a day head for all the guests. Very nicely done with marble. The materials used in these boats are really high end, and the fit and finish, you really feel it when you're here. Huge closet, look at that. That's why I would love this master cabin layout. You get tons of space. It's very modern, it's cool. What you'll find different about this boat is that there's no walk around deck, side decks to get to the bow, because it's a raised pilot house. So you got the side decks up above with stairs to get to the foredeck that we just saw. So it leaves the master cabin to be nice and spacious and voluminous. And let's check out the bathroom. I mean, look how huge the shower is in this thing. Let's check out these cabins down here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cabins on below. Mirror images of each other. So you've got 2 twins and you've got 2 queens, but they're really nice. They're really nice cabins. And of course, some big mirrors to see how you look.
What a fabulous floating mansion. For the full tour of this beauty, visit driftsociably.com. We drift above Boston Light, a shining symbol of America's maritime past, and it's all ahead on the Drift.
Drift Above is brought to you by Subaru of New England.
And now it's time for amazing views of the lakes, waterways, oceans, wildlife, and seashores that we so enjoy. Our friends at Subaru of New England take us on an amazing ride above. There's a light that's guided sailors for generations, a beacon that's been standing watch at the mouth of Boston Harbor for longer than the nation itself. This is Boston Light, America's first lighthouse, first lit in 1716. Rebuilt after the Revolutionary War and still shining over 300 years later. And through it all, Boston Light has endured. So whether you're cruising the harbor or drifting from afar, take a moment for Boston Light, because history isn't just behind us. Sometimes it's still shining right up ahead. Drift above more of our amazing coast at driftsociably.com and at driftsociably on social media. Thanks for joining us, drifters. We'll catch you again right here next time, and maybe out on the water. It's the social place for boating, The Drift. For more like this, like, follow, share, and subscribe to The Drift at Drift Sociably, or visit us at driftsociably.com. For all of us here at The Drift, I'm Sierra Goodwill. Drift Sociably. Get the drift?
The Drift is brought to you by BoatUS, Sociably, and Subaru of New England.